Hello you guys, so it's me here again. So this video is a special type of video. So this past semester, the students at Rio Hondo College, they performed a play called The Laramie Project along with myself. So what I did was I interviewed the cast and crew just to figure out what the Laramie Project was to them and like how they feel and like the characters they play and so on and so forth. So here, without further ado, here's the interview with the cast and crew of the Laramie Project. I always get tongue-tied.
My name is Oscar Vasquez, and I'll be playing Shannon, Russell Henderson, and Andrew Gomez.
Hi, my name's Mary Lou Robledo. I am playing Officer Reggie Flutie in the Laramie Project, and also a waitress and Eileen Ingen.
So my name is Juliana Fierro. I play Rebecca Hilliker, and I am one of the judges.
Oh, hi, my name is Joey. I'm playing Amanda Granich, Allison Mears, and Jen.
My name is Vanessa Hernandez. I am Zubaida Ula, as well as Lee Fondakowski, Carrie Drake, a news person, and a waitress.
Hi, my name is Felman Ta, and in the Laramie Project, I'm currently playing 3 characters who are Doug Laws, a Mormon Baptist, Dr. Cantway, a Dr. Laramie, and the judge. His name is just the judge in the play, but his real name is Judge Jeffrey.
My name is Jose Marroquin. I play Jedediah Schultz, anonymous, 4-person, and that's it.
My name is Desiree Figueroa, or Desiree Figueroa Alcantara, or Desiree Alcantara, in different ways. The characters I'm playing is April Silva, Kristen Price, the girlfriend of Aaron McKinney, who is also the killer of Matthew Shepard, an email writer, and let's see, Tiffany Edwards, and Sherry.
Hello, my name is Devone Gorum and I play Aaron McKinney and I play the priest and I play DJ Shadow in the Laramie Project.
I'm Matthew Medrano, and I'm playing Harry Woods and the governor of Laramie, Jim Garand.
I'm Isaura Castellanos, and I am playing Lucy Thompson and the newscaster.
Holy shit. Okay. I am Keisha, and I play Marge, Reggie. No, I don't play Reggie. Marge. Sorry, I was looking at you. I play Marge Barbara, Catherine, a Mormon school teacher, and I feel like I'm forgetting someone, but I think that's everyone.
Okay, and what's your role backstage?
I am stage managing in addition to acting.
My name is Jerry Ugarte, and I play Rulon Stacy, Cal, and a protester.
Well, my name's Kristen Suarez, and I play Romaine Patterson, Zaki Solomon, and the minister's wife.
I'm Brian Taylor Ramos. I play Philip Dubois, Stephen Belber, Jonas Slonaker, and Dennis Shepard.
I'm Candice, and I play an angel, and I also help with the lobby display.
My name is Isaiah Colazzo. I play Stephen Meade Johnson, a Unitarian church minister, as well as Murdoch Cooper, a bigot. Well, those are my speaking roles, at least. I also play an angel and a newscaster, some shenanigans of that sort.
Well, my name is Caleb James Miller. I play Sergeant Hing, Rob Debris, John Peacock, Greg Pyrotti, and narrator.
My name is Jose Barajas. I play Aaron Kreifels, Conrad Miller, Andy Paris. I play Skinhead and juror. Cameraman, yeah, I'm all over the place.
The Laramie Project is a story about the story of Matthew Shepard. Basically, it tells the story of how he was taken out to a buck fence and was brutally beaten by these 2 young boys, Aaron McKinney and Russell Henderson.
Very, very awful crime affected everyone throughout the whole city.
When 2 kids that everybody knew had just killed another boy just for being gay, just for being something that they didn't like.
It's about a theater company, like Tectonics, they get together and they put together about 200 interviews of people from Laramie, Wyoming, and they all speak of like how they felt or what they experienced when Matthew Shepard had gone for like 8 years.
So the Laramie Project is a documentarian style theater play that was written by a devised theater group called Tectonics. And devised theater is created theater. It's a group of people got together and nobody was the writer, nobody was, anything. They all just built up the show by themselves. But more than the style of play, it's a story about a young man who, all of our ages, young, early 20s, who was homosexual, who was raped in his time and then beaten in his hometown and killed ultimately by 2 homophobic men. A lot of people will tell you that it's other things. There are actually articles out there that say all of this was fake and he was a drug addict, or he gave everyone AIDS, and a lot of people will dissuade from the main meaning. But for me, the meaning of the play is, here's a young man who was living his life authentically for the first time in his entire life. Came from a background of depression, a background from all of these things, and was just starting to overcome what he thought was his biggest obstacle.
To me, I don't identify with being gay. How I barely identify with being most things. But it upsets me, that this is happening to a person for being themselves. And one of the best things that I love about myself is that I can be myself. And no one's gonna try to hurt me and tie me to a fence. At least I don't think they are.
Going into this, I had vaguely heard of the story, but as everyone, I was familiar with it. So I was kind of intrigued, kind of curious. So when I officially heard that we were going to do it, I kind of looked at it on my own, and it kind of touched me in a way because it's always been a relevant story. Someone getting discriminated against, someone just for being who they were picked on. And I'm coming out, I guess, now, but as a bisexual student, it touched me in that way because I've always had that mentality. Be who you are. It shouldn't matter what people think of you. You should always be proud, and people will accept it. And this story just kind of shines a light on, as well as having people, disagree upon it the way these guys did toward Matthew. You also have a whole community that just brought that together and kind of reminded us that it isn't something to accept.
Well, there's been a lot of rough patches since the beginning, and I still think there's some rough patches here now because so many people have been missing rehearsals day after day, myself included. But I just think Kirk is right about saying that people really need to step up their game and be here more, because without the people we need, we're not really getting to the level that we need to be at.
I feel pretty good about it. It's been really fun. The rehearsals have been going really well. Kirk has been pushing us because he says it's good, but he always says it can always be better. So we're just always getting better as we come. And yeah, it's been pretty good.
And everything. So yeah, definitely I feel very passionate for it. So yeah.
Okay, what are you looking forward to the most, and who's your favorite character in the play?
What do you mean by for it the most?
Just
what
parts of the story that you're looking forward to, or just the way it's coming along so far? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward for everything coming together with the lights, the props, everything, the costume changes, everything coming together, because we've been talking about it for about 2-3 months, and it's just I wasn't even supposed to audition. I was just I'll just probably watch it, but I saw it and I just I don't know, I really want to work with Kirk, and I really want to work on this play. So I'm definitely looking forward for the performance, for the lights coming together, and yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to.
And your favorite character in the play?
My favorite characters is actually, I really like Romaine Patterson. Romaine Patterson's so passionate. I auditioned for her and I kind of wanted her, but I think Kristen is doing so great with the way she's doing. I looked into my homework and I was curious about it too, and I saw how she is, and it goes very well. I definitely see like way she's portraying it to how Ramin was. It's going very. She's doing very. She's doing great. But yeah, when I read about her, she's just so super passionate what she believes in. She wants to be heard from everybody, and that's why she did that angel action thing, and because so she could be heard. And she knew Matthew Shepard also. She was a friend of him, so I like her very much. So,
Okay, just what are your final thoughts and how do you feel about the play so far?
I feel happy that it's going so great. I love what Kirk is doing. I love how the actors are with each other. I do feel like we're a family here, even though like we've been here for like so long. Some people we don't even know some of these people here, but we still have some strong connection with each other. I do feel like, yeah, I feel really happy that it's coming together, and I can't wait to see how it goes. Can't wait for the audience to see it, and everyone else that have been like looking forward for this play.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking forward definitely to opening night. I haven't done this very much before, and I've heard from some of my actor friends who are also in this play that opening night is one of the best things ever. So I'm really looking forward to that.
But what I'm looking forward to is seeing like the whole thing set up, to see how it looks like in the end, like without like pauses or anything, and see how it looks like.
But I think my biggest thoughts right now are just trying to get everyone's head in the game, because I think a lot of people are afraid to jump into this story because it's so heavy, because it's real life. Like, I think with other shows you kind of have an advantage, knowing that these things aren't necessarily real, that you get full control over the story. But because the story is real, because you can still look up news coverage of this and everything else, you're stuck in reality a little bit. I think a lot of our actors are having trouble letting that go and like staying in the world we've created.
Okay.
So I think I'm ready for them to let go. I'm ready for
I feel
this
like a lot of people are being characters instead of being people.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's one of our biggest hurdles as a cast, is letting go and stepping into these people, and kind of honoring who these people were, but also doing our job as artists and creating something.
I think it speaks volumes. It's really huge. And but a close number 2 would be Stephen Belber, part of the Tectonic Theater Project, and for putting this play together. So.
Okay. What are your final thoughts? We're a couple weeks out. Just what are you thinking right now? How do you feel about the play?
I'm excited to get the show out there. For those who haven't seen it and for those who want to see it again, I think what we're all doing here is something special and definitely worth watching at least once. So tell your friends.
All right, thank you for your time.
I always get tongue-tied whenever I ask that question, or I get like, whenever I talk about it, because it's almost like if you saw Hamlet, how Hamlet puts on the play to try to expose his uncle. So for me, the Laramie Project is like, put it on the play to, expose, homophobes and, just people who hate other people, not for any specific reason. They just hate them for just who they are or what they look like or what they think another person is, or likes, with just prejudgment, things like that. So that's what it is to me, and for me to play the characters that I play, because, one of the characters that I play is, the murderer of one of the murderers who killed the kid, Matthew Shepard in the Laramie Project. So me playing Aaron, I felt good playing Aaron because I'd rather, all that hatred be portrayed by me because I feel myself, a pure heart guy. So for me to, to tap in all that hatred, I'd rather it come from me than, somebody who may or may not be, hatred. I had a lot of fun playing him. I had a amazing co-star, Caleb. He did who played Rob Debris. We had this interrogation scene, and it was just amazing, just going on top of each other and just really just getting into the scene. I really liked it, and just the whole experience was just fun and new for me because I'm getting new into acting. I'm not really an actor per se. I'm photographer, filmmaker, editor. So for me to get into the different the different acting stuff is pretty new, but like I said, I love it and I love the experience. The cast was amazing. Going into the weeks of rehearsal, yeah, it was stressful because we treated this play very, very delicately because it was real people. It was fictional characters that we can kind of like take into a different direction if that was our our artistic choice as an actor. So, but we kept each character like within a small kind of range, to keep them real, to keep them basic, to keep them like true to the script, more or less, because the script was the actual words from an actual interview. So
it has been stressful, very stressful. I guess like for me, like it's annoying because we've all done this before. It's not like this is brand new, and yet people act like this is brand new. So it's frustrating, but seeing everybody grow and form their character since like day one to like now, it's like, yeah.
So
like,
what are you looking forward to the most?
I am looking forward to making like just having an impact on people and how they look at the world and how they look at other people, and not really, I know there's that when you grow up, like don't judge a book by its cover, and a lot of people, I don't judge, but you really do judge, like let's not lie, come on, and I'm guilty of that as well. And hopefully now when after people that do see this play, like hopefully they take something from it and share that wisdom that they get from this play.
Actually looking forward to seeing Rulon Stacy. I'm looking forward to seeing Jerry and how he portrays that character, and also his very intense part of his monologue. I'm looking forward to seeing that, and also I'm looking forward to seeing how they put the wings on Romaine Patterson, on Kristen. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And
the progress from when we started the first read to now, and I just barely got off book. So, but other than that, I feel so much emotion in my character, Rulon Stacy. He's one of the biggest characters that I have, and I understand his words now, and just being off book, I'm understanding more of the things he says in his speeches. So just tons of emotion for me.
Okay, so for me, we go up in a week. It's exciting. I'm very excited to be like there already. We're already here. We still might have a lot to do, but we're here and we're ready, and it's going to be a great show. I personally am waiting for it to be over. It's been a lot that we've had to do. It's one of those. It's a really heavy play, and it's something that it's hard to sit with day in and day out, having to read these words of people, having to read a tragedy over and over and over again. It's heavy.
Yeah, but it's been a different experience for me. I don't think I've ever rehearsed this intense for anything.
You think it's helping?
Yeah. It's it's a learning experience for me. So it's good to try something new and to, I guess, work with different. This is Kirk's way of directing and rehearsing. So it hasn't been bad. It's been good. It's been very about learning about discipline for me has been what this whole rehearsal process has been.
I'll be honest. A week out, I'm pretty spooked. But you always get spooked a week out from a show. But I think it's even more now, because right now the gravity of not only putting on a show is setting in, but now you have a message that whether you say it well or not is whether someone's going to believe it. How I say my lines on, that Thursday when we start is basically how the audience is going to believe whether this is real or not. And I think that has a lot to do with changing someone's perception. Because a lot of the time someone will believe a bigoted thing because they don't see it as real. They've never experienced it themselves. They've never been hated for who they are. They've never experienced being gay bashed before because they aren't.
Yeah.
So they can distance themselves and they can say, well, that doesn't happen, that's not real. They're overreacting, and I'm just uncomfortable with it, so I don't care. So we have to make them care. And that's what's spooking me a week out, is getting people to care.
Yeah, making it real.
Yeah, Amanda Gronich, who's a character in the play, has a line where she says, how do you get people to talk to you? And I feel like it's a similar idea of how do you get people to listen?
The characters is actually, I really like Romaine Patterson. Romaine Patterson's so passionate. I auditioned for her and I kind of wanted her, but I think Kristen is doing so great with the way she's doing. I looked into my homework and I was curious about it too, and I saw how she is, and it goes very well. I definitely see the way she's portraying it to how Romaine was. It's going she's doing great.
My favorite character in the play is Jedediah, just because he comes out more in the play, and he's just really opinionated. Like he's kind of mad because he feels like Laramie, Wyoming, where he grew up, is now not this beautiful town that it once was, or it still is, but he feels like people, when they think of Laramie, they think of the accident instead of what Laramie actually is, which is a beautiful, secluded town, like he says.
My favorite character is kind of twofold, but it's Fred Phelps and Caleb's priest character. I don't remember his name. But the guy who is like, I'm a biblicist. And I think those two, because number one, it's a great chance for them as actors to step into like these rude people and really bring them to life. But also because they kind of like, they give it their all, like they let go, and they are these people, and like you look at them and you honestly sincerely think that they're saying these things. But I think it's a good reminder to us that these people do exist. They're not going, obviously, I mean, Trump is a presidential candidate. These people do exist and they're not going away. And I just think the dedication that Caleb and David have given to these characters is beautiful, and I cannot wait for those to like really come out.
Well, if you're looking for my favorite character, I think it's, because I've grown so close to him, I think it has to be Rob Debris, who was the chief detective on the case. For a long time, it was Dennis Shepard, because he has this huge speech about his son towards the end of the play. And just to hear the gravity of a father who lost his son, it takes it out of the realm of theater, and for the 5 minutes that it's happening, you're really just listening to a father talk about his son, which I always thought was great. But now that I'm in it, and now that I'm breathing the roles, Rob Debris really frames a great character for me, because I think he has a powerful silence in him, because he witnessed all of this firsthand, and yet he operates like it doesn't hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Character, I'd have to say maybe Hoover. He plays Murdoch Cooper. No, not Murdoch Cooper. I play Murdoch Cooper. He plays Doc O'Connor. Loved. I auditioned for that role. Didn't get it, of course, but I auditioned for that one. He grabs it and runs with it so well. He gives it so much more justice than I could have done, and I'm glad that he got the part. I think also Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller?
Shepard.
Dennis Shepard, thank you. I'm in the show, but I don't know anyone's name.
The Laramie Project is Dr. Cantway, because for me personally, he's the one character that sort of connects the dots to each of the characters in the whole play. Because he has one line, and his one line is, well, I mean, one of his lines is, "It offends us." And I take those 3 words as something that represents the whole community.
My favorite character would have to be Dennis Shepard, just because it shows that, he was the father of Matthew, and he had to go through this horrible thing, and yet he didn't forgive him, but he didn't forgive the people that killed Matthew, but he gave him, instead of the death penalty, he gave him life. And
For me, the character that I like to play the most is the one I think is the most important, and he's the most important to me, and that would be Dennis Shepard. Because that is his son who was brutally beaten. And for him to stand up and speak so strongly his mind and emotions after having his son brutally beaten, it speaks volumes to me. And to show mercy.
My favorite characters from the play definitely have to be Brian Taylor Ramos for portraying Dennis Shepard. I also like Keisha, for the character she plays. She plays like the older, like motherly type of ladies. I thought she was good on that. I think a lot of people did good. I think his characters, he brought more energy to them. And I personally, I thought they were more entertaining because, theater, you got to get more theatrical. And I felt that he brought the theatrics to his characters, so I love him for that. My boy, Jose M, I thought he was great. Because he got this voice, just like this manly, like raspy voice to like authoritative. So for theater, you definitely need that, because authoritative, it brings your attention. He can easily pull focus. So I thought that was amazing for him to do that. I also, like, and I love praying. I love playing the priest that I played. Cause I had this prayer scene. That shit was the strongest scene for me, like throughout the whole play. People can debate and say, "Oh, that my Aaron McKinley was my best," but I mean, I'd probably say that priest scene. Cause for me, I've never done nothing like that. That strong. That just, I don't know. Cause I felt it.
My favorite character has to be, I really like Andy Paris, but my favorite character has to be Aaron Kreifels. He finds Matthew's body tied to the fence, and his monologue and everything. Whenever he comes out in the play, it's very personal. So to me, I really connected to that. You kind of put yourself in their shoes, and I kind of try to relate like personal experiences that I've been through to the character. So it's been it's been kind of very, very emotional for me.
And I'm the director of the Laramie Project here at Rio Hondo College. A little background is that this is now my 13th year teaching here as an adjunct professor of theater. I previously directed here at Rio Hondo a stage reading of a play called The Guys, and that was in honor of the 10th anniversary of 9/11, because that play deals with the aftermath of that tragedy. And this play deals with the aftermath of the tragedy, of course, of Matthew Shepard. I am honored and delighted to be working on the material, but most especially as an adjunct, don't get the chance to work with students as close as you do when you're working on a production, of course. So this is something that for the 13 years I've been here, I've been wanting to do, just because it gives you a chance to feel more entrenched in the campus community, and indeed that is happening during this process, of which really makes it extra special. So yeah.
Okay, what is the Laramie Project, and what does it mean to you?
Okay. The Laramie Project was originally conceived by the Tectonic Theater Project, a group of New York actors and writers and dramaturgs. And they, like all great artists, were responding to society, responding to communities caught in crisis, to some event, to some tragedy, to some cause. And so they had gone to Laramie to interview over 200 people who were either directly entrenched in the event or a little bit on the periphery, sort of to get all these different perspectives. And they also came with their own sort of preconceived notions, their own fears, their own dreads, but with the hope of being able to tell the story. And however that would be manifest, they didn't know at the time. So that they get all these interviews and realize their own sort of illumination during the process. And then when they get back to New York, they suddenly start to cull all of these pieces from their actual words and start to devise a play that not only speaks to the specifics of the event, but enlarges it to deal with important themes such as acceptance, tolerance, equality, and that bigger picture of promoting compassion and respect, love. And the realization too, sort of, if they became the Tectonic Theater members became the surrogate for the audience. And so as they grew working on the project, I think the way they devised the play, the hope is that the audience members will also become enlightened. Anyway, so for me, it's a play that's always been on my radar in terms of it being well done, of it being important. Over the years, it's become one of the most prolifically produced plays in community theaters and college campuses everywhere. They, 10 years later, did a play called The Laramie Project, 10 years later, of course, with a sort of an epilogue on what has happened in all that time. So it's something that was always there. So when the opportunity came for me to direct a show here, I knew pretty much right away I wanted to do this play for a number of reasons. One, just on a technical note, I knew it would serve our students because it's mostly age-appropriate roles, that it can serve Barbara Walters would never have the phone go off. It would serve any number, it's written for 8 actors, of course, playing over 60 roles, but I knew the structure of the play was such that we could incorporate, more actors. I knew it wouldn't necessarily be a heavy tech show, although turning out to be one. But I always kept saying, especially when during this process we didn't know if we were going to have a lighting designer, we had a new set designer, all these things. Now we still don't know if we have sound, but I knew it could always be done with a bridge chair and a flashlight and be just as effective. And I mean, as someone who's from New York, I worry a lot and a bit neurotic, and so there's a part of me that will never be fully pleased. And I think that's what maybe makes me, I think, a good director, is that, why should we settle for what's just okay or good enough when we could always be better? And how do we be better? We zero in the details. Now I'm going off. We focus in on, there's always something to be discovered. Right. And I don't care if you're doing a run for 10 years on Broadway, there's always something magical that could happen because every audience, and a live audience is a learning experience. What saddens me is that we only have one weekend of performances because I think the show is first going to be growing. Will grow over time, but it is what it is. There's so many elements and so many moving parts, and I'm also a Capricorn, so the part of me that wants to control everything, Amos, who delivers it, does it so beautifully. And every time, from the first day he did it at the audition, because I honestly didn't know if we would have a student who could get to it. I thought you sort of needed, someone who has some experience, some life. And there was even a part of me at the beginning where I was like, well, maybe I'll come in and do it. Maybe I'll ask a faculty member to do it. But I was like, no, that's selfish. But I just wanted to make sure that moment needs to be, it needs to be on, And Brian got it right from the start. And, there wasn't too many adjustments I've needed to give him, just a few little nuanced things. And I was really pleased by that, because that character, I think, again, to answer your question, favorite, I don't know if that's the right word, he's certainly the most potent for me every time I've read the play. That being said, there are other characters that maybe have a little comic relief or ones that are driven that really sort of also resonate along the way, or certain characters that really undergo an arc. I've been talking a lot, to Jose, who plays Jedediah, or Romaine, Christian, who plays Romaine Patterson. Like, these characters thought they were one way at the beginning of the play, and they really turn into something else because of this event, and because of what Matthew stood for in his life as well as in death. no one's going to be a bigger advocate for yourself than you.
Yeah.
And so I've been trying to, practice what I preach, I guess, and say, okay, as a director, you're the captain of the ship. You're at the helm. Everyone look towards you. So I can't sit back and be like, oh, but they didn't do their job, or they said they do this and they didn't.
And into this play, because like I said, it was a star-studded cast. Like, I'm a fan of a lot of these guys, like Caleb and our stage manager Peter and Brian Taylor Ramos. I'm a fan of all those guys. I've been in classes with them. I've seen a couple of their other projects, and I've been a fan of them. And I just seeing them and what they can do, and then just seeing what everybody else brings. Joey, this was her first play, and she just killed it. Like, I didn't even know it was her first play. I could have swore she'd been in a couple years. That's how she came into it, like with those chops. Like, damn, okay, how many plays have you been doing? When she says her first play, it was like, damn, okay. But yeah, it was an awesome play. It was got to be a part of it. Yeah, that was the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please check out more of my videos on my channel. Please like and subscribe. Thank you guys. Remember, support your local theaters.